Hi, I'm Chris Martirano with American Music and Sound and our good friends at Kraft Music. I'm going to be showing you the Numa Organ 2, the second generation in Studiologic's organ technology. For a great deal, check out the bundles where Kraft has put together all of the accessories that let you get the most out of your instrument. I'm going to start by showing you the tone wheel organ faithfully recreated. You have 9 drawbars, just as you would have on the real tone wheel organ. Let's listen to each of the tones, because that's where the classic tone wheel organ derives its beautiful sound, is from these individual tones for each drawbar and then the combination of them. In fact, Studiologic gave you 3 different tone wheel organs that they've analyzed and faithfully modeled. You have an A100, a B3, and a C3. Each of those are different vintage age. Some are more in spec, some are more out of spec. So you get all the characteristics of the 3 different models at different periods in their aging, which gives to that classic kind of a sound. As you know, if you've played a real tone wheel organ, no 2 of them sounded alike when they were analog. In the digital world, of course, they're replicated pretty faithfully one to the next. We're going to listen to some of the features now that are applied to the tone wheel organ, such as the vibrato chorus. On this instrument, they provide a wheel, just like on the authentic one, where you have 3 vibrato settings, V1, V2, V3, and then 3 chorus settings, C1, C2, and C3. So we'll just listen to those settings right now. This is the V1 setting. V2, V3, and now the classic chorus settings that were used in rock and jazz music. That's C1, here's C2, finally C3. It's a beautiful recreation. We also have, to complete the lineup, we have the percussion settings here with all 4 faithful switches represented: on, off, soft and normal for the level of the percussion, fast and slow for the decay, and then the harmonic, the 3rd or the 2nd harmonic. And we'll just use 3 drawbars to hear those. I'll shut off the chorus vibrato. So we'll hear the 3rd harmonic at this point. With a faster decay. And then with the soft setting, where the percussion is lower in volume. Then they give you, of course, some anomalies that were found on the original product, such as key click. Key click was caused by the 9 contact wires that were under each key on a tone wheel organ making contact with the bus bars. This would create a DC effect or a DC offset, and you would get this kind of a click. So we'll listen to what the key click sounds like. You can hear all that nice sputtering, all that kind of anomaly, which I'm sure the original inventor of the tone wheel organ wasn't happy about, but we've come to know it as an integral part of the sound. We'll listen to the leakage model. This was also caused by crosstalk between the individual bus bars or the individual contacts for the individual 9 drawbars. So we'll start with a small amount and increase it to the point where it's absurd. That's great. So I'm going to add a little bit of key click now. I'm going to add some leakage model. I'm going to also add some drive, which is a bit of distortion. And in Studiologic's design, they did the right thing, where the volume pedal, as you bring up the gain, will also increase the drive, which would happen, of course, on a real instrument as you're overdriving the amplifier. So I'm going to add my percussion back in, and I'm going to also add some chorus vibrato, and we'll hear a classic kind of a prog rock organ sound. Which is really great. They did a bunch of things also that I consider to be very, very friendly to the user who's playing. You can see an octave of reversed keys here. These allow the user to preset and save configurations they've made with the front panel. So just by holding one of these keys down a period of time, it will actually then write to the memory, and you'll have a new preset. Okay, let me show you a little bit of the other models that are featured in the instrument, and we'll start with the church organ. I'll show you some of the features that apply. I'm going to select the lower preset, C1, as from the factory they've programmed that to be a church organ program. So we hear a single diapason setting, which is kind of warm. We can add some overtones using the drawbars. Adding a little reverb that was if I want a little more animation to the pipe organ, I can turn on the rotary simulation and leave it on a slow speed. So the pipe organ is really very nice, very useful for a lot of different settings. Some of the prog music, in fact, even cut away to classical songs that used a pipe organ sound. I'm going to go on now and show you one of the pop organs. This would be the Farfisa model. I'm going to start with preset found on the F key, the reverse key, and I'm going to just turn off some of the effects so that we can hear exactly what it sounds like. I'll turn off the reverb, and I'll turn off the rotary simulation. You can hear that classic transistor buzziness, which was a big part of that organ sound. Again, we can add overtones using the drawbars. I always add reverb. I love reverb on a classic pop organ. You'll notice I'm using the split function on this example. The left-hand part has no chorus vibrato on it. The right hand has the vibrato. It's very simple to adjust in a split, the left or the right settings. In fact, the front panel has dedicated buttons for upper, lower, and pedal settings right next to the split button. So if I want to adjust my lower left-hand part, I can hit the lower button and make an adjustment. if I want chorus vibrato, they allow me with a lower button to turn that on as well. Likewise, I can shut off the upper vibrato, and now I have... So if I like this now, I can save this as a new preset, which is great. So I can highly customize what I'm doing and then save the preset. Studiologic was thinking about the person who wants dual manual and pedals. Studiologic makes a MIDI pedal board, and you can also get a second MIDI keyboard that you can plug in, and automatically your upper, lower, and pedal buttons will address your settings to the second manual and to the bass pedals. They also allow us to couple the pedal drawbar settings to the left-hand split. So this is really handy if you don't have pedals or you don't play pedals and you still want that deep bass sound. So I'll just set up an example so you can hear what that sounds like. I'll start with a regular tone wheel organ patch. I'll put the rotary back on. Now I'm going to add the split, and the left hand, I'm going to control that. I'll just use the first 3 drawbars, and the second one I'll leave in a little bit. Now we'll add the lower pedals to couple to the left hand. So I'll put the split on, and I have upper and lower now, and the pedal coupled to the left hand. Simple to adjust the upper. I just press the upper button, add some higher harmonics. My left is still just the bass pedal and the bass left hand. If I want chorus vibrato on the right hand, I just turn it on. Very, very simple to operate. Great instrument, faithful reproduction. On the Numa organ too, there are audio inputs. This is great if you want to bring along an iPad or you want to bring along a mixer and you want to plug external audio into your Numa 2 and then use the overall volume in the Numa 2 to control your performance. There's also an 11-pin Leslie connection that allows you to connect to today's modern Leslie speakers. The instrument also will allow us through the foot switch or through the front panel rotary control to control the rotary speed of the actual Leslie. Very, very cool. Studiologic Numa Organ 2 features a Fatar keybed with a waterfall key. Beautiful, faithful recreation, again, of tone wheel organ action, especially the later models where you can do all swipes and slurs with your hands. It doesn't hurt, feels great. And they have this 3 different contact points for their triggers, for the key contact. And if I depress the key a third of the way, I'm going to get a trigger very high up on the key, which allows for very rapid, repeated playing. So that's the Numa Organ 2. If you're looking for faithful recreation of church organs, pop organs, tone wheel organs with all the expressiveness, check out the Numa Organ 2. I'm Chris Martirano, and thanks for watching.